Thymesia is a Souls-like RPG and is the maiden game from Taiwanese developer Overborder Studios. Published by the ever-wonderful Team 17, Thymesia is available on both PS4 and PS5. As you are aware from our August PS Plus Extra video, it is also on Extra right now, so I decided to plat it, and even though PSNP gives the game a mere 4 out of 10 difficulty rating, I fear that for non-Souls veterans, the Platinum Adventure can prove to be pretty tricky. So after I slogged and struggled my way through it, I figured a tips and tricks guide might help you have a much easier time with it. Here are 5 tips and tricks for the Thymesia Platinum Trophy. So let's go. Tip 1. Get You Shall Not Pass right away. The tutorial area at the start of the game has the only missable collectibles in the game, but that's not all it has. The tutorial drops free trophies like the Joker threw away money in Tim Burton's Batman. Just like the Joker, the game does this to give you a false sense of ease and comfort before screwing you over monumentally. Those freebies do run out, and after that, the remaining trophies are pure grind, difficulty, or mammoth amounts of collectibles. There is also 1 silver you can earn in this opening tutorial, however, and that silver is far from free. In fact, it is arguably the hardest trophy in the game. The You Shall Not Pass Silvo for knocking back tutorial boss Varg's first health bar. Now this is very easily missable as you only have your basic moves to work with, no plague weapon, and of course you are at the lowest possible level. But my first and most important piece of advice today for the Thymesia Platinum is this: get it done before you start the story properly. Even if you die and spawn in Philosopher's Hill, go back to the main menu and just start it again. Make this trophy your bitch before moving forward. Let me tell you why. 1. Learning how to parry perfectly here will make the rest of the game 100 times easier. 2. You're gonna fight this big bastard again in the story, and if you can beat him without any upgrades, you will obliterate him later on. He is probably the second hardest boss in the game. 3. If you complete the story first, you will get too used to your build and chosen plague weapons, as well as your favourite health potion. Going back to the basic moveset after the story to defeat Varg is like going from a Porsche and back to a Reliant Robin. With that out of the way, the rest of the game will be infinitely easier, I promise you. There are loads of guides on how to beat Varg in the tutorial specifically, but really it just takes learning your dodge and, more importantly, parry timing windows. Tip 2. Choose the right potion for you. Now, health vials come in 3 types: general, long-lasting, and fast-acting. I personally used the long-lasting potion as it continued to refill health even after I'd taken damage. The drawback of this potion is that it does take a couple of seconds to use, and this can get you killed pretty quickly if you delay its use for too long. Now, each potion can be upgraded using alchemy enhancers that are dropped by bigger enemies. You need 18 of these to fully upgrade 1 potion to its full potential for the Alchemist Bronzer anyway. There are plenty available in the game, and you can grind out levels or certain bosses where the drop rate for them is higher. The God of Falls boss in particular has a very high drop rate for alchemy enhancers. Consider your playstyle and skill level appropriately before choosing which potion is best for you, and stick with it, as grinding out extra alchemy enhancers can be an RNG pain in the arse. And who wants unnecessary grinding? As you upgrade your potion, you will unlock ingredient slots. When all 3 are opened, you can craft specific potions that do what they are supposed to, but also add useful buffs to help you along. These buffs can include taking less or dealing more damage. Very useful as you progress deeper into Corvus's memories in Hermes' kingdom. Tip 3. Experiment with your build. There are 2 key gameplay elements that do separate Thymesia from other Souls-likes, and thus actually making it significantly easier. The first is that you can actually pause Thymesia at any time. Sorry, FromSoft purists, I know you're screaming in righteous outrage at your screen right now that I should just get good, but if there's a pause option, I'm going to use it. The second is the ease in which you can frequently reset all your stats and unlock skills and start afresh. This is hugely helpful in Thymesia, as the intricate and frankly brilliant build system offers a range of abilities to suit most playstyles. These, however, take some research or experimentation. I changed my entire build twice, mostly to overcome specific points of the game. With each boss being pretty different and having almost opposite strengths and weaknesses, changing your build can turn the hardest boss in the game into putty in your hands. My advice is to collect as many of the forgotten feathers as you can. These are the things that will allow you to reset all of your stats. Try different moves and tactics to find out the best fit for you and your playstyle. Now personally I suck at parrying, but I'm pretty good at dodging, so I used the ability that gave a second longer dodge instead of investing in leveling up my feathers. Feathers which are used to interrupt critical attacks against you. This allowed me to dodge perfectly behind enemies as they attacked and get some decent damage in before they turned back around to get me again. But Thymesia offers a gluttony of abilities that vary wildly. When you choose certain abilities, it does lock you out of others that are similar or counteractive to the abilities you've chosen. So either research or experiment with your build as you progress for best results. Tip 4. Do the subquests before finishing the main game. Without giving spoilers here, I will advise you that you will have to beat the final boss 5 times to open up every ending. These endings can be unlocked when you've killed every boss in the game, as they drop items used to evoke each ending. I would also advise you to completely level up your Corvus to level 50 and find all collectibles within the story. Thymesia has a ridiculous amount of collectibles, and doing them after finishing the story will be pretty draining, especially if you didn't love the game. Being level 50 also makes the final boss a breeze. The final boss knows all your moves, and based on how you read games will either be the easiest or hardest boss for you. For me personally it was the easiest, but for my buddy Shadow, the hardest. So leveling up and finishing everything else may solve you some serious frustration and tedious pointless grinding. Bonus tip! Show NPCs your collectibles. Now this is a simple one, but actually quite important for us completionists. There are an assortment of collectibles that must be shown to one of 2 NPCs within the game to register as found. This isn't explained in the game, and guides do mention it, but it is very, very easy to miss. It's not a proper tip, just something I thought I should let you know as I was pulling my hair out not understanding why my collectible trophies weren't dropping. Maybe I'm just a dumbass. Tip 5. Use parry and dodge and feathers. Much like many other Souls-likes, Thymesia does place huge importance on your ability to parry expertly, but this alone will not get you the platinum. You will have to learn when it's the right time to use your feathers, dodge and parry with your saber. Parrying perfectly instantly deals any enemy you are fighting damage, which frankly doesn't actually make any sense in the game, as you literally just deflect the attack. There is no riposte or stab attack following the parry, so I'm not actually entirely sure how it's supposed to work within the physics or mechanics of the game, but it does. This will be your most effective tool, most of the time. Your feathers like steel knives that do real damage regardless of when you throw them, and they can be used to slightly stun an enemy. This can be very useful when you need a second or two to jab yourself with the health potion you chose from tip 2. Feathers, however, also have a very helpful use in battles with the bosses, as they all have deadly critical attacks that can, depending on your health bar, one-shot you dead. Mutated Odor, having the most powerful and even with a full health bar, can actually kill you instantly. Luckily, his particular critical attack is easily avoided by simply double dodging behind him, using the jump attack, or by throwing one of those trusty feathers. Consider that bonus tip numero 2. Finally, dodging can and will be the only way for you to get out of trouble in certain areas, most notably when you're surrounded and outnumbered. There are 2 skill trees for dodging abilities, and choosing the right one here will be key to how useful it actually is. I would recommend using the same one as I did, mentioned earlier. These feathers can be literal lifesavers in both of these situations, so I suggest leveling them up a little and making sure you're getting practice with them and how they work effectively. I won't be giving any more details on the game or its platinum trophy here, as I am currently editing together my own platinum adventure for the game, which will be out very, very soon. Because Thymesia is a 5 out of 10 for Souls fans, a 6 out of 10 for non-lovers of the genre, it will take 25 hours to platinum dependent on skill, and is for the most part a very enjoyable Souls-like experience with a rich world, interesting story and brilliant combat system. Are you going to plat it like I did? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all for watching. I'm Zach, she's Crew, this is ZXL. Be good to each other.